Okay, so Doug came over and he kind of tasked me with turning him into a zombie, and so I guess I was asking kind of what type of zombie he was, where he came from, how old he had been dead, because all of that sort of influences the physical appearance of sort of your zombie, how decayed they are, and some different things. But for me personally, as a makeup artist, I take a lot of inspiration from sort of older horror movies, those from like the 70s and 80s. I guess that's not like super old, old for me.
The better
yeah, and so I wanted to sort of put some of that in to this character. And so the way that I'm applying the makeup is, I guess, more of a do-it-yourself type of makeup. So if somebody at home wanted to do this, they could. And so a lot of the structure that you see on his face is built up with masking tape and toilet paper. And so that sort of helps get that defined brow structure that you see on like a lot of the older zombies.
Yeah.
So I wanted to really sort of build up the shapes, give him some more prominent cheeks, but then really sink him in a little bit. And so all of that was done with liquid latex application on toilet paper to sort of get that effect. And then I took the liquid latex and stippled it. That's where you take like a sponge that has like a lot of different texture on it, and you put it all over the face. And what that does is it sort of breaks up the typical skin texture, and it allows you to kind of rip apart the skin a little bit, so it looks like the skin is rotting and eroding, and you can get some really neat, realistic textures with it. So after I had all of that built up and we had the latex dried on there, I went ahead and started painting. And so with a lot of makeups, you go in with your darkest layer first, and so that really allows you to get the color fully into all of the wrinkles in the makeup. And so then you sort of
a lot of depth too.
Yeah, exactly. So then you can layer on lighter colors. I was using Ben Nye's Age palette, and then I was using some bruise wheels that Ben Nye has, as well as some Wolf Aquacolor makeup. And so I really wanted to go in and sort of build up the layers. I went with a really natural tone, sort of earthier skin tones, but like paler, because that's more of what you see on The Walking Dead, whereas in older zombie movies you get like some of the greens and the purples and the blues. And so I wanted to sort of stick in line with what you were wanting to do here. And then to add some of the finishing touches, I just went through and I sort of started ripping apart some different parts of the latex, adding in some red to make the openings in the nose and the eyes look really infected. If we had contacts, it would have been awesome to stick those in there. And then going in with the fake blood. So you can either purchase a lot of effects blood. This blood is actually made from cornstarch and food coloring, and so I was able to go in there and do that, and then add some chocolate syrup in there too to really make it nice and gross looking.
Yeah.
So
I noticed for the wounds, do you actually so you just kind of rip the stuff that you put on there before?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You just kind of paint in there? And
so latex
depth.
works kind of like a second layer of skin. It has adhesive qualities to it, so that's why it's used to sort of hold together the structure that you use. You can use that, or you can use like Prozade or any other sort of prosthetic adhesive. But then when you apply it to the skin, it kind of gives a nice wrinkly texture to it. So if you're doing like a really simple old age makeup, you can use that, and it like works well for the zombies. But then you just kind of rip it apart, and it looks like you're tearing the skin literally. And so it's nice to add some like holes in there and some like bigger gashes, and so it really gives like a realistic look to it, and it's a very simple effect, which is nice. So
you can go a long way with paint too. I saw with the neck and the stuff you did.
Oh, absolutely.
Really
You want to add some like depth in there.
The veins and stuff is what it looked like at the end.
I think he might have pulled some of my skin. Do you have any pimples or any like? No, I actually don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt he was saying that like he was pulling it apart. He was kind of like tearing apart what he just built. So it's kind of funny, but it all goes together, kind of like in a flowing kind of deathly look to it.
Yeah.
We actually scared some people on my way home. I was just like stopping by at a red light and looked over, and people were freaking out. But good thing we didn't. Not too many people. No cops called or anything. That would be a big story to tell.
Grand Prix weekend.
Yeah,
Those crazy kids.
Yeah, exactly.